So we're getting rid of some of the more other, I was going to say some of the more extreme maps. We're getting rid of some of the larger maps in favor of smaller maps. We'll see how our players will approach this, especially on torches. There are some spicy builds you can go for. Let's go. As spawning in the top right hand corner, we have our German Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Sentinels. It is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player. Yep, he's mining through the gold minerals. He's opening up the center of the map early on for Weibo Gaming. It is SHIN. And this has become a little more trendy here in ZvP, specifically on Torches. We spoke about it. Torches is one of the more unorthodox maps in the map pool. It is often vetoed and has historically been often vetoed in this season of StarCraft, but today was an exception to that. Today we have seen Torches a little bit more, and now we're able to take full advantage of Torches rushing into the gold as the natural. We have seen players rush into the other gold base as well. We have seen both players attempt. Likewise, you can mine through these minerals and go into a roach base all-in with this gold. So you can go for all-ins here, whether it's Link Floods, whether it's Roach all-ins. We have seen that to be quite prevalent here on Torches. And it's going to be on ShoWTimE to scout, and he will! Yeah, he will check, he will scout, he will confirm. And he will get eyes on the gold. Also, before I forget, if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our ZvP. Coming into this, it's going to be an interesting dynamic. I don't actually know who I favor. ShoWTimE and SHIN. ShoWTimE, he's been looking very solid as of late. We saw him against Reynor, of course, during the EWC qualifiers, and ShoWTimE, he forced Reynor all the way to the ace match. ShoWTimE, he almost even won that series as well with some hyper-aggressive builds, but that might have just been for Reynor. Here, we're probably going to be seeing something more defensive out of ShoWTimE. Meanwhile, SHIN, he is known for being a bit more chaotic at times. Oh boy. Known for being more aggressive at times as well, not really known for longer and later games. I say not known for, we did cast him recently in the late game at ZvT where it was like 30 minutes, you know, slower Broodlord style. Broodlord Infestor. Lurker as well. But that was a different matchup, right? That was ZvT. So if I standard opener here out of ShoWTimE and going for his own Stargate. So Stargate opener. Meanwhile, SHIN, what's the plan? So far, he's taking advantage of the gold minerals. We do have link speed on the way. He pulls out of gas. This is important. So this tells us we're not rushing into an early Bailey nest. We're not rushing into early lair. No rushing into early tech. This might just be a link flood. We could just pull the boys, mine through these minerals, and then just link flood across the map. That we have seen be quite successful here on Torches as well. The other option is that he just plays out a standard game from here, which would be crazy, by the way. It would be crazy. Get this cleaned up. Oracle does bust into the mineral line. 5 drones going down, 3 from the Oracle, 2 from the Adepts. Not bad damage. But the goal base does allow you to afford those mistakes, to afford those losses. As SHIN does have that boosted economy. SHIN poking in between the bases. Twilight Council and Forge on the way. A little bit earlier here from ShoWTimE. We'll keep an eye on him. I would imagine it's still going to be +1 in Blink, but it could be +1 in Charge. Ducklings, they pick off 1 Adept. Not the most efficient trade, but it does get 1 Adept. SHIN is still droning, still saturating. Is going for a lair first, pulls back into gas. So he's not going for an all-in, not anytime soon at least. He is teching. So he did rush into the gold, but he's playing more or less standard from here. So he'll lose 2 more workers. The Oracles, they barely get away. 4 HP Oracle. Same time as they move in. Oh. 1, 2, getting into 5 drone kills in total. Boys are being pulled. More drones going to be going down. This is getting out of hand here. 8 drone kills. 9 drones even. 9 drones to full. Economy still actually in favor of ShoWTimE. Favorite links are going to be moving out. Hydra's going to be on the way, so now we have the answer here to what the lair was for. It's going to be laying Hydra. It gets scattered by the Oracle. ShoWTimE sees everything. He knows. He sees, he knows, working towards Storm. And we'll see if SHIN can try to break through, or if we just drone from here. He's getting a 4th expansion, he's building up some Hydras, but we have an EVA chamber on the way. EVA chamber tells us that most likely we're going for a later timing instead. Otherwise, why get the chamber? Creep spreading nicely, there we go, +1 range has begun. And it's just been a bit of an awkward game. Just a little bit awkward. ShoWTimE's gotten some nice damage. SHIN is just droning. Does catch the Oracle. Gases are on the way. More drones here out of SHIN. So yeah, we're just chilling. Just macroing out of this. ShoWTimE is walling up, preparing for an attack. You see here stasis traps in the Jesus. Stasis traps, cannons, shield batteries, more cannons and shield batteries here at the 3rd. In the main base, he's on patrol. Like ShoWTimE, he is terrified about a push. And to be fair, 1 is coming. We have Overlord speed on the way. That's not typical. That's not normal. Bailey Ness as well. Filling Bane Hydra. And SHIN, he isn't taking it to hide. Nice catch on the Oracle. And here we go. Here comes the Doom Drop. 9 Drop Lords on the way. Overlord speed is now done, and we are going for a Doom Drop into the main. But again, ShoWTimE, he's ready. More or less. He's looking very secure. And SHIN, he's going for it. Now, which base do we go for? Now, checking his vision, he hasn't seen the setup in the main base. Lings, they do hit the linear 4th. They hit the 4th expansion. They do distract ShoWTimE. And where are we headed? There we go. Loads up, headed for the main base. Stalkers, they're still on patrol. This should pay off for ShoWTimE.
They're attacking a creep tumor.
God
so
damn
much
it.
for your creep spread.
every time. Every time, shit, every time. Stalkers, they do move out of position though. And here we go, drop into the main. Stalkers know where they need to be. Hydras, they drop in. Stasis goes off, catching a couple of Hydras, but he's being overwhelmed. Yeah, shield battery goes down, cannon goes down. Storm is coming in, decent Storm. But Lynx, they bust into the mineral line. And from here, SHIN is reinforcements pushing through the center. Does attempt to push through the center. And takes out D-powers everything in the main. The gateways, the shield battery, sorry, the Stargates, the Twilight Council as well. Nice big shift from SHIN. Here picks up, pulls away. Does preserve whatever he can. At the same time, oh, still 1 Hydra behind the mineral line. 28 probe kills, 29. And even though ShoWTimE was looking very secure on 3 bases, he was out of position, right? The Stalkers, they moved out of position. He could not deny the drop lords before they could unload. Aye. There was that one opening. And SHIN got in. Shin's pushing between the bases. Once again, Bailey's rolling on forward. Where are the storms? Yeah, no storms. Had Templar going to be going down. 4 Templar left. Oh no! Did I say 4? 0. 0 at Templar. GG gets called. The prism goes down, and Shin takes game number 1. GG. Shin does take a lead in the series. Again, a bit of an awkward game here just because Shin went for a very late all-in. He went for a +1. He was droning, went up to, what, 4 base saturation. Shin, who was a little more passive, and then hits with his 4 bases, then went straight for the main. We saw that ShoWTimE was walling up. He was terrified of an all-in. Unfortunately, he didn't know where it was going to hit, and even though he was somewhat ready in the main base, we saw that he did move his Stalkers out of position. The Stalkers, they rotated down to the natural. In that moment, that's when Shin did strike the main, and that's when the main base was exposed, and that's when Shin was able to take it from there. GG. GG will play it with that. Shin does take a lead, and now we're getting game number 2. Getting into game 2, and we'll see if ShoWTimE can recover. We'll see if Shin will take the series here and now. This can go either way. We're going to be loading into Tokamak. Tokamak is a more defensive map. I do favor a player like ShoWTimE on Tokamak, but this does give Shin some other opportunities instead. Talking specifically about mutas. We'll get there. But now we're loading in. Now we are loading on in. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Tokamak, we have the German Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss. Oh, the Red Protoss himself, representing Sentinels down in the series. We'll see if you can bounce back. It is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is SHIN. Again, welcome one and all to Tokamak. Tokamak is one of the larger maps in the map pool. We have more defensive bases. Your 2, 3, and 4 base setup here is a little more secure here on Tokamak compared to other bases, compared to other maps, I should say. So we often see longer games on this map. I say that, so because of that, I do favor ShoWTimE if he were to get his natural, get his 3rd, get his 4th base, play a similar style and be hyper defensive. And if Shin were to try to break him, I do favor ShoWTimE in that defense a lot more than on Torches, for example. Torches' aggression is favored 100%. But because of that, we could see some other styles here, whether it's something like Muta play, whether it's something like Swarm Host play as well. You can be a little bit more harassment focused and be a little bit more mid-game focused as well. We could see Shin be greedy and tech up in a different direction. I'm hoping that we don't see a 3-base all-in out of Shin. Not on this map. But up to Shin. We'll see. For now, hatch, gas, pull. Likewise, as I mentioned before, ShoWTimE, he has shown us his more aggressive side as of late, going into so many different Glavenep builds against Raynor in their previous best of 5 at the EWC qualifiers. But again, that did feel very particular to Raynor, very particular to that match in that series. ShoWTimE, he has it in him, of course, to do such a thing, but don't really see it happening here against Shin. Don't know if it's necessary. Don't know if it's wise, especially on this map. Now we have our Stargate. Likewise, Shin is joining up. Have a couple of Zerglings on the way to keep up with the Adepts. Once again, to reiterate, if these 2 Adepts go down, then the 3rd base is going to be exposed, so ShoWTimE has to be very careful with said Adepts. They can, of course, one-shot workers, but they're also keeping the 3rd base safe. Does thread in the shade. Does commit. Goes to the mineral line. Ooh, a little bit of mistargeting. There we go. One drone goes down. He gets one. And he will get 2 towards the end. Okay. Trades 2 for 2. I'd say better defense here from SHIN. With that, SHIN, he counterattacks. He's going for the 3rd expansion. And ShoWTimE back at home. He's forced to keep his Oracle at his 3rd. So the Oracle is back at home. He will defend against his against his Zerglings. And it's going to be Oracle into Phoenix. Now, if you've been watching ShoWTimE over the past year, he's been doing this opener quite often here. He's very fond of going Oracle into Phoenix. This is something particular to ShoWTimE. I don't think anyone else commonly does this kind of opener. This will allow ShoWTimE to hunt down Overlords. It also allows him to deter Muta play, and also even have some certain timings where he can hit the main base and lift a queen with his Phoenixes and try to get a little bit more damage. But again, this is really particular to ShoWTimE. The downside, of course, is that he does delay his 2nd Oracle. So yeah, the Twilight Council and Forge follow-up. SHIN, of course, is in the dark. He doesn't know. Station trap into the main. Gets a couple of drones. Same time, I'm going to say busts into the main base as well. They're going for the workers. So far, 3 drones going to be going down. That was 3 drones for 4 adepts. But we had some decent station traps. SHIN is going for his Evo Chamber into +1 melee. From here is going into Ling Hydra, skipping Baneling, skipping Roaches. Getting to a longer game. Ooh, meanwhile, here comes that lift. Lifts the Queen, gets a couple of workers. Nice damage here by ShoWTimE, pulls away. Slowly paying for his Oracle, slowly paying for his Phoenixes. Getting damage dealt over time. Meanwhile, SHIN is still just droning. He does have extra Lings here, but he can't really threaten the base too much. 10 more Lings on the way. 4th expansion as well. And that's a lot of Jesus. That's going to be 20 more Zerglings. 22. So we have another massive wave of Zerglings on the way. +1 melee is almost done. SHIN being very committed here, instead of otherwise droning and teching. And I'm not so sure this is worth it. He gets 1 Stalker. He gets just the 1. 1 Stalker goes down. Now he starts droning. These drones are late, and I was curious because we have yet to see the Hydra Den. It's going to be the Spire. Oh boy. Now, we did bring this up at the start of the game, talking about Muta play here on Tokamak and how this is seen a little bit more commonly. This is more favored here because of the size of the map. But ShoWTimE, did he just scout? The Phoenix goes in, and yet he sees the Spire immediately. Ay, ay, ay. The Spire is scouted, and there we go. Hydra Den gets thrown down. He's going for the Hydras, going for the Infestation Pit. SHIN, he knows that he just got scouted. Things move in. No Storm yet. Going for the Stalkers. At least trying to. And these are some okay pickoffs here from SHIN. Does catch some Zealots. Not much more than that. It's 4 Zealots for 30 Circlings. Not ideal for SHIN. Now the Spire is going to finish, but again, he's not making any mutants. He's going into Hydra production, taking up into Lurkers. It's gonna be later tech here from SHIN. Needs a little bit more time. And here comes ShoWTimE. He's got 4 Templar, plenty of Storms. SHIN, he's in danger here. Ideally, doesn't want his opponent to race back home. There's nothing to threaten. SHIN turns back around. ShoWTimE doesn't commit. Catching out more Zerglings. ShoWTimE doesn't risk it. Backs up. I mean, it is ShoWTimE for you, so he's going to be more defensive instead. I do think that he had the opportunity to try to push forward before Lurker tech, but now 9 Lurkers are on the way. Now he's missed that window. He's missed that opportunity. Before the Lurkers, ShoWTimE could have broken through, but now it's too late. Now the Lurkers, they have arrived. The Lurkers are out. Ling Rumba is being set up. Oh, we're gonna lock in. We're gonna be here for a while. Nice Ella warp in. Takes down the Queen. Queen's going down. Getting a couple of workers, wreaking a lot of havoc here in the main base. Oof, bit of miscontrol there, but a bit of misrally, I should say, from a ShoWTimE. Rally's the Immortal in. Nice, Storm is gonna be saved. And now we're taking up. I do think this is a little bit late. Earlier when I said like, oh, it's time to settle in, it's time to strap in, even if you're like a minute ago. That's when I assumed that we would be seeing a switch to Sky Toss. The game is slowing down, so this is a little bit later, but it's on the way nonetheless. It's on the way nonetheless. The Fleet Beacon, the Stargates, ShoWTimE is looking quite solid here on 4 bases. Now, ShoWTimE does need to trade, just because ShoWTimE is maxed, and he needs to free up room here and free up supply for the Sky Toss. So he's going for Zealot round buys. And Zelda moving in. Forcing a reaction. At the same time, SHIN is also just fully rolling up and securing himself, and we're also embracing the longer game. We have the Greater Spire on the way! Boy. Okay, let's go. Let's go. As Zelda try to engage. Get 2 drones. ShoWTimE pulling back. There are now more stasis traps, now expanding, getting a 5th. Space is on the way, temps are amassing. ShoWTimE needs to keep up with these Nidus Worms. So far he is. Less so with the Zerglings. Okay, don't forget to stretch. Posture check. Let's go. We're ready. So again, we need to slowly free up supply here and slowly refine the army. ShoWTimE, he has 4 Tempests so far. He's got 4 Tempests. He's got 6 Archons. He's got 14 Zealots. Ideally, he does want to mix in a couple more Tempests. Plenty of anti-air. Immortals can fare well, especially if he's up against a Lurker-heavy composition. So depending on what he's up against, he would need either more Immortals or more Archons. As Nidus Worms are finishing. This does distract ShoWTimE. Likewise, I have to apply the same thing here to SHIN. Where SHIN, he also has to get rid of Hydras, he has to get more Lurkers, he has to free up room for Corruptors, and more importantly, Spellcasters. It's not impossible to deal with this kind of army from ShoWTimE without Infestors or Vipers, but they do give a lot of value to your army. They do have their place. When it comes to Blinding Clouds and Abductions and Parasitic Bombs. Instead we have Neural being researched, okay. Tempest moving in. Meanwhile, the Vipers have arrived. He's got 2 Vipers so far. Gets 1, gets 2, gets... Oh my, gets all 4 Tempest. Okay, shut them all down. Snipes 3. 4 Tempest towards the end. Snipes out of SHIN. Very nice. As ShoWTimE, his Tempest count gets completely reset. Oh, it's got a ways to go. SHIN grabbing more energy. As we mentioned again, like, these spellcasters are so crucial here for SHIN. Nidus Swarm is defending his fringe bases. Does react in time. We're getting up to a 5 Stargate counts. Let's go. 2 more Stargates on the way. And a lot of this will come down to the engagements. It will come down to how they fight. And we may just never engage, depending on the Nidus play. That's a Nidus. We do see SHIN not quite able to get this around. He does have a second army though. He's looking for a way in. Going for the Tempest. Gets 1. So yeah, 1 Tempest goes down. We have had so far some better pickles here from SHIN. Just picking away at the Tempest count, picking away at the mothership. But no major committed fights. Nice Nidus. Nidus does finish. Lurkers get behind the mineral line. They force a recall. Nidus into the main. Uh-oh. Gets spotted. Nidus. Getting in. And again, without these Nidus Swarms, SHIN, he would have to go for a head-on fight at one of these expansions, and that's going to be difficult. We have a wall of cannons here towards the left, cannons here in the center, and cannons here on the right-hand side as well. So he's hoping that one of these Nidus runs gets up and running. He's hoping he doesn't have to force his way into one of these expansions. Oh boy. Getting behind the mineral line. Not bad. At least trying to. He has to get the hell out of here. Pulls away, more Nidus Swarms. Meanwhile, yo, shout out to Neo in the chat. ¡Gah! Papi, gah. Neo. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos. Gracias, papi, gracias. Thank you for the raid. Also, thank you for the subscription. For the Switch Prime. As more Nidus Swarms are finishing. Still being active with his main army. Both players building up their bank. Oh! So you got a couple of losses. That was 2 Lurkers and a Hydra. Sorry, Hydra. Broodlord Productions. Oh my god, Broodlords have begun. Getting into Broodlords. What's the Corruptor count looking like here? 0 Corruptors. Uh oh. Has to be careful. At this point, he's gonna need backup Corruptors. He's still up against 7 Tempest. So he needs more Corruptors. As the Skytus army has arrived, Broodlords are revealed. True, we could still go for Neurals. As we're getting to Broodlord Infestor, we're finding the army. We're getting there. Getting into that ideal Broodlord Infestor. SHIN, he's made it. And again, we spoke about how SHIN, he has been going for this more slower. I mean, he's been forced into this slower style against Terran more recently as well. Now we're seeing it against Protoss. Broodlord Infestor. We're back. Something that SHIN has been struggling with that has to be worked on here is creep. Creep spread is really crucial just because it does allow you to push forward with more spine crawlers, or more spines, more spores, more everything. Again, the side defense is tied to creep here for SHIN, and the creep is a little bit lackluster. It's fine when it comes to defending the bases and protecting the bases, but when it comes to being more aggressive or offensive, it's not really there. As ShoWTimE just gives up the expansion. Base goes down at the same time. We're moving into the left hand side. It breaks through the lurkers. Hatchery goes down. Plays a traded base for a base. New trade. Oof. Say that, still pushing into these lurkers, not going to be easy. But SHIN, he responds with everything. The entire army rotates. What's also scary here is that ShoWTimE has both center expansions. He has center right and center left. SHIN, he has to fight for one of them. If not, ShoWTimE's going to get out of hand. He's going to build up a massive bank. Doesn't have it yet, but that's what the bases will mean. Crazy that ShoWTimE might run out of minerals before gas. That's because of all the site defense. Like, he's throwing down a lot of cannons and shield batteries. Like, it's very mineral intensive. Bungle's going up. Nice catch. But again, really good use of his mineral bank at the same time. Ooh, Corruptors looking for a way in. Trying to bait or try to lure ShoWTimE further onto creep. Feedback swinging up. As he does try to catch some of the High Templar. Ooh, storms are connecting. Takes turn SHIN away. SHIN is going for it. He's pushing into the cannon line. Pushing into the side defense. Vibrant. Ooh, gonna be punished. Feedback goes up. There's still one Viper left. And SHIN, he does retreat. Yeah, doesn't like his chances. He pulls away. Pulls back. The base survives. Is he ever spending on cannons and shield batteries? I think it's okay. Like, right now the bank looks low, but at the same time, in this kind of scenario, you do often see like a really big mineral bank from the side of Protoss that they never really spend. So I think it's okay to make use of it like that. Oh no! Oh, High Templar getting caught out. Yeah, the High Templar are caught and dives on the main army. Massive Fungal as well, and the mothership is going to go down, but does he have enough Corruptors? It's gonna be close. Archons are popping up. Yeah, he does have enough. Barely enough Corruptors. Takes down all the Tempest. Takes down the Mothership. SHIN. Can he keep going? Does he have any Lurkers remaining? No. No Lurkers. And without Lurkers, there's no supportive army here with the Broodlords. No Lurkers, just Broodlords, only a handful of them. So 4 Tempest moving at a time. Still a lot of Tempest. Getting into 7 Corruptors. Once again, are we overmaking Broodlords? Do we not have enough Corruptors? Neurals are going to be a factor, I'm sure. Getting to the Neurals. It's Tempest, they do pick up a couple of free Broodlords. Moving in. SHIN's holding a position. Collapsing the army, he will clean this up. So SHIN will take the fight on the left-hand side. At the same time, though, takes down the base, takes down the Nexus. Not bad. Nexus goes down. Can't quite keep going. Cannot move in. By SHIN, he's being starved out. You can see here the economy's been heavily in favor of ShoWTimE for quite some time. Ay. Well, that's the cannons aren't quite ready yet. Okay, nice move with the Lurkers. And he moves in, he shuts down the Zealots. Breaks through the main army. ShoWTimE, he rotates. And SHIN, he might be able to break this expansion. It's going to be close. It's going to be close here. This is on the way. Takes down all the cannons. At the same time, push on the right hand side, and he is bullying ShoWTimE. I say that gets surrounded. Yeah, Lurkers that get surrounded is going to be cleaned up. SHIN, he will lose his army. And it's go time. At this point, it's go time. SHIN, he might kill this expansion, but ShoWTimE, he can just keep pushing. And he can go for the kill. He can go for the kill, takes down the mineral line, takes down the expansion, keeps on going for the tech. Yeah, the hydrogen infestation pits, the tech is exposed, but he doesn't keep going. Yeah, the army does turn back around, and ShoWTimE, he doesn't want to get caught. So I'm playing it slow. Does back off, does play it slow, does rotate. And just making sure that there's no mining. Yeah, he's just starving SHIN out. SHIN, he's running out of money. Running out of resources. And SHIN behind this is down to what, 200 gas? Barely anything. And SHIN, he's got one fight in him. The problem here is that, again, ShoWTimE can remax. I say that. I mean, mineral income is going to be a factor. So recall. So recall does pull back. I mean, even though ShoWTimE, I would say, is in a better position, SHIN can still win the game. He can still win one strong fight and just send it into the bases. There's still a chance. Speaking of, that was the Hydrogen falling. But ShoWTimE, he will lose this army. Yeah, 2 Archons and a High Templar. So army's cleaned up. Here we go. SHIN, he's got no gases here bottom right. He's got 1 gas geyser left. He needs the gas. Ooh. Catching out the lurkers. Brutal slow zone. 2, 3, 4 lurkers going down. Yeah, SHIN bleeding out far too much. Lurkers that he cannot replace. Cannot replace them. True, can take the space as well. Gases are still available. There goes, got 1 gas mining. Nice fungal, very nice. The chain fungals here gets 1 High Templar, gets 1, gets 2, gets almost, gets 3. Templar going down. ShoWTimE setting up that flank. There's what, 5 infestors. Yeah, Fungal does graze the army. Yeah, Fungal's connecting. Corruptors have to engage. A little bit late too. Another Fungal. Another connection. Yeah, with that Tempest are all going to be going down. What about the Grand Army though? Oh, the Blink Stalkers. They're diving onto the Brood Lords. But the Brood Lords, they kite away. Yeah, they kite away in time. And SHIN, no shot. He does it. SHIN, he does it. He takes the fight. The Brood Lords, they reign supreme. The Skyjust army crumbles. And I just don't think there are enough Stalkers. It's still quite close. Down to 6 Brood Lords. 7 even. Down to 6. ShoWTimE is remaxing. He's got more Stalkers on the way. Stalkers. SHIN, he has more mining. He has 20 Zerglings in production. SHIN, he has an economy. I should say ShoWTimE, he somewhat has one as well. Somewhat. This round. Not the cleanest engage here from SHIN, but he will surround the army. Does force a recall. Gets the Archon, gets a couple of Stalkers. That's what matters. Still very clutch. SHIN, he cannot afford to lose this expansion. Get into the gas, Pappy. Get into the gas. He needs it. So 7 Brood Lords. I mean, that's the nail in the coffin here. What is the answer to the Brood Lord? There is no answer. Things they collapse in. And it comes down to the Archons. And Brood Lords, they kite well. They have to. There it is. Archon versus Brood Lord. Oh no! Counter's getting caught out. ShoWTimE does get into the mineral line. Mineral Wonders. Still quite close. The Brood Lord goes down. He's down to 4. 4 Brood Lords down to 3. 3 Brood Lords left. Kite, baby, kite. Kite away. Down to 2. Down to 2. 2 Brood Lords. No mining. No economy. He will lose the expansion. And ShoWTimE, he still has some mining going on. No gases though. I mean, he has a gas bank. It's okay. He has a gas bank. His mineral income, his long distance mining. This is what it came down to. You'll see you this time. Yeah. Jesus. 8 Archons. That's a lot of Archons. In the head-on fights, I think I do favor ShoWTimE. I guess if SHIN's able to re-expand and take the space, then maybe, but again, ShoWTimE has got Storms, he's got Archons, he's got everything he needs. Good to go. These crafters, they can't really get much done. Without resources, they can't morph into Brood Lords. Nice base. Sees all the Archons. And here, I feel like the writing should be on the wall. Like these crafters are dead supply. At this point, they're dead supply. What's the detection? There's an Oracle, there's some observers. Oh, Tempest production, yeah, Tempest production has begun. We're going to the ace match. Let's go. I mean, I guess this does give the corruptor something to do. True. You're gonna have something to do. They'll have some uses. Oh, the spores are coming in. The spores are waddling in. The overlords as well. We're spreading creep to borrow the spores. The great migration. He doesn't see it. Base is denied. Okay, SHIN, he's expanding. SHIN still does have a bit of an income here with the center expansion. Oh, takes out the Oracle. Now, yeah, GG gets caught. He sees the Tempest, he sees all the Archons, and ShoWTimE ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. We go to the ace match, we're going all the way to game 3. A very, very draining game 2 is what I will say. And the players are asking for a break. Understandable, completely understandable. Likewise, I'm also going to get some water as well. I'm empty, Pappy, I'm empty, so I'm also going to get some water. So we're going to be going on a very short break, and when we come back, we will have our game 3. Let's go. Let us go. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semifinals or semifinals here of the WardiTV Monday number 44. It's been an intense series so far, very intense, very back and forth as well. We just had, what, a 30-minute game, 25 minutes. It was a very intense game on Tokamak, but now we are here to determine who will make it through to the grand finals. Clem is waiting for the winner of this series. Will it be a TVP or a TVC? We're here to find out. This morning in the top right hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the German Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Sentinels. It is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is SHIN. Whew. Oh boy, that was a game. It's a game, it was a game. Went down to the wire, of course. Both players are running out of money, they're running out of resources, but ShoWTimE, he had a better economy than his opponent. Likewise, he was able to preserve a greater army as well. There was a lot of potential with the Broodlord Infestor from SHIN, but the Broodlords are getting caught out. The Infestors went down as well. He lost his Spellcasters, and he lost his Broodlords. He was stuck with only a handful remaining. ShoWTimE, he barely was able to pull it off, and now we find ourselves in game 3. Oh boy. So far, Hatchgas full, stay that open, forsake the unnatural natural. So SHIN does have a bit more awkward setup here, but after what just happened in the last game, SHIN, he might be tempted to go for the all-in. And what do we see here? We see the forward third base taken, especially on Ultra Love. All-ins are favored on this map, and with this forward expansion, we can spread creep faster towards the third base, faster across the map, to go and work towards a German taxi, or a straight up Queen Walker across the map. Not saying that that's what has to happen here, but it's a possibility, and it's something that's going to be in the back of my mind, at least looking at SHIN. Meanwhile, it's going to be a standard opener out of ShoWTimE, going for his own gate expand into Cybercore. Here we go. We go. Last week, we got our first and only finals of 42 weeks of no clan max extra hero. Yes, as we pointed out, the reason why Hero has not been playing, the reason why Hero wasn't a part of this tournament either, is that Hero, he has been less active over the past month, because he has been specifically preparing and preserving and hiding builds for the EWC, for Esports World Cup. So Hero, he has been much less active in the online tournament scene. Despite that, you know, we do still feature, you know, Clem, Max, fact he was here as well. And we'll see which of these two can make it to those finals. So now it's going to be a Stargate open out of ShoWTimE, Stargate into Oracle, standard stuff. Oh, does open up triple Adepts? Jesus, okay. It's moving out. Never mind. Faking out a Shade. Basically, he revealed the Shade to the Overlord, but he does keep his Adepts hidden. SHIN, he's being active, trying to figure out what's going on. Does spot the Adepts. But again, a much more defensive setup here from ShoWTimE. It's a little more standard to move out with your first two Adepts, but does keep them at home. Does keep them home is secure. Meanwhile, we have a Link Flood on the way. Are we already pushing? Are we already going to send it? The creep is spreading as we speak. And again, we could see a Link Queen all in. Yeah, we have a lot of queens amassing. We have more queens on the way. For now, SHIN is droning. Okay, SHIN is droning on up. Lings, they move out. They're headed towards the third. But there's an Oracle at home to defend. And this is a big investment here for SHIN. These could have been drones. These could have been workers here. It was a big investment going into how many? Going to 20 Zerglings, but they don't achieve any damage. Yeah, rough start here for SHIN. Goes into the main. Twilight Council's on the way. Delayed Forge out of a ShoWTimE. But Forge nonetheless. There's that Roach Warren. Now, bearing in mind, we did not see a Roach Warren last game, right? We did not see a Roach Warren in the last game. Well, actually, this entire series here. So we'll see how committed, how aggressive SHIN is going to be. Say pull back. Roach production has begun. But SHIN is taking. He's taking up. We have a lair on the way. We have Evo Chamber for +1. So SHIN, he's really making just defensive roaches. ShoWTimE clearing up all that creep. Just taking up into Blink. Here, ShoWTimE is trading well. Bearing in mind, Adepts that don't really scale well into a longer game, so trading Adepts against Zerglings like this, and even preserving Adepts, is still a better trade for ShoWTimE. Behind this, he knocks down that wall, knocks down the tower even, securing himself on 3 bases. He's setting up. We have cannons, shield batteries, stasis traps as well. Here, we see ShoWTimE is just reactively, blindly setting up for an all-in. Like, he has a very strong defensive setup here. This is going to hurt him because he's basically investing into this instead of expanding. We should be seeing a fourth. We should be seeing a fourth base, but ShoWTimE is taking a much more defensive stance. Whereas SHIN is taking. SHIN is got +1 on the way, getting a 4th base. But we'll see if he drones, as he did even go for the Hydrogens. That tells us that he should be droning, at least in my mind. Yeah, he's taking, he's droning. So all of this could have been a 4th Nexus. ShoWTimE is poking in. He's trading well for himself, getting himself with the roaches. Uh-oh. The roach is going to be going down. SHIN, has he been too greedy? Has he teched up too much? Because these are expensive losses. Yeah, a lot of roaches going to be falling here. SHIN is caught with his pants down. Almost every roach is going to fall. He can dive on the queens. And SHIN, he's being broken. Yeah, he's being broken here and now. Where the reinforcements, they're now waddling in. And this might just be it. Yeah, this might just be game. We can blink forward. There we go. He goes for the dive. Boys are being pulled. SHIN, he's getting desperate. And before SHIN can think about a longer... Oh no, miscontrol. He's focusing on the gas geyser. Bit of miscontrol there by ShoWTimE, getting a little bit too excited. He still trades well, but SHIN is holding. SHIN, he barely holds on. Again, ShoWTimE, the oracles that were targeting down the gas geyser instead of the hydras, instead of the queens. So a bit of wasted DPS there. Things were getting a little bit too chaotic, and SHIN does survive. But he was so close to falling. Like, ShoWTimE was so close to breaking SHIN here and now. ShoWTimE, now he expands. Later 4th base here for ShoWTimE. Later 4th base. What he's taking up? He's taking up into Storm, Charge, +2. ShoWTimE, he still traded well. Almost end of the game. As SHIN, he did get away with his tech. Got away with it. Now it's time to work towards a Hive. Hive is on the way. Lurker is on the way. Gas geysers are on the way as well. SHIN, he's building up towards Lurkers. And we might slow the game down again. The game may slow down. Just because, remember, ShoWTimE's 4th base is much later, so his army here is going to have a hard time keeping up, at least for the near future. Until the 4th base kicks in. There we go. Fleet beacons, stargates. We're taking up into Skytoss. We're getting into the late game. Nice catching on the roaches. We do have Link's punish though. Hydras are coming from behind. They get one of the High Templar. They get one. They get another. But oh god, that was all the Hydras falling. Yeah, better trade here for ShoWTimE. 6 Hydras, 8 Roaches for a handful of Slugs and 2 High Templar. ShoWTimE pulls away. It's time to settle down. I say that SHIN, he's actually still investing into Roaches, which is catching me a little bit off guard. At this point, Roaches, they've already... The Roach tech has already come and gone. So SHIN, he's massing up an army earlier than usual. SHIN, he's about to max out. And we'll see if he can force his way into the bases before ShoWTimE maxes with Skytoss. This is what this is designed for. He's looking to try to kill ShoWTimE before the Tempests kick in. Tempests have arrived. They reveal themselves. At the same time, forcing his way into the natural, getting on top of the robo. Takes on the first pylon, going for the other. Tempests, again, their attack rate is just so low. The army's out of position. He just cannot engage. ShoWTimE. I wouldn't even be opposed to recalling. Just recall into the main. No NG. Yeah, there's no NG in the main base. A couple of storms do pop off. Stalkers, they blink into the main. So a shaky defense here from ShoWTimE. As these lurkers are just zoning away the rest of the army. Oh no! He cannot move in. And ShoWTimE, he will hold, he will defend, but it's going to cost him the cyber core, gateways, robo. That's a lot of tech falling. And maybe even the natural as well. Yeah, the expansion does go down just barely. So nice push. At the same time, SHIN, he rotates. Rotates over. I get spotted. Gets spotted, he pulls away. ShoWTimE is keeping up. ShoWTimE is breaking out. Still pushing into how many lurkers? 8. Jesus. 8 lurkers here already. It's a solid Tempest count. Storm does punish at the same time. The wall is wide open here at the natural. Lings, they flood into the main. They force out defensive warp-ins. Probe's going to be falling. Nice thing run by here by SHIN. Again, just abusing how open the natural is. As corruptor production has begun. The Archon is non-existent. Yeah, we need Archons, we need anti-air. The Tempest are vulnerable here to Corruptors. Are vulnerable. ShoWTimE pulling away. Just waiting for the Oracle. Catching out some of those revelations. Okay, now he spots the Corruptors, he has to pull away. Has to pull back. And again, he needs those Archons. First Archon is morphing in. ShoWTimE is max. What's he maxed out on? Ooh, 24 Zealots. Oh, God. Yeah, he's got a lot of Zealots in his army. Too many. Now would be the time for run buys. Now would be the time for counterattacks. Until then, ShoWTimE is stuck at home. Yep, throws down another wall of cannons and shield batteries. There's that Zealot run by. And once these Zealots go down, then he can morph in those Archons. I'm assuming that's going to be his priority. Jesus, that's going to be 22 Corruptors. That's an insane Corruptor count. Yeah, SHIN is going for the dive. He wants the main army. Storms a zone. At the same time, this base will go down. There's nothing to defend back at home. Drones, they do not escape. And Corruptors, they go for the dive. Yeah, they dive on the main army. They focus on the Tempest. They tank a lot of Storms, though. But again, there's not many Archons. Yeah, there's not many Archons. The Storms, they do well. At Templar, they walk away. And this is still a better trade for ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE, he will lose the Skytoss army, but he does still trade very well against the Corruptors. And this army is popping up. Yeah, he takes down a base after a base. Hatches are folding left and right. And SHIN is being torn apart. There's nothing at home. There's one Hydra. There's one Hydra. We have a couple of Hydras on the way. ShoWTimE is turning around. He could just walk into the natural. But he's turning back home. He wants to collapse on these lurkers. I don't think he needs to. Like, the lurkers, they're not really, they're threatening a base, but regardless, he's setting up for the surround. I mean, if he kills this army, that's game. Setting up for that surround. There's Revelation. We need those storms. Zealots are falling. Having a hard time engaging. Likewise, had Templar, they pin back. Where are the storms? Yeah, there we go. Storms now coming in, gets a full surround, and he will clean up every single lurker. Yeah, lurkers are cleaned up. Now ShoWTimE can push out. Behind this SHIN, he's on 3 bases. He has really 1.5 base economy. If that GG gets called, there's nothing remaining. And ShoWTimE, he will take the series 2-1. He will advance on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very intense back and forth here between ShoWTimE and SHIN, especially the game 2, might I add. But here we saw that it was a really, I would say, a shaky start here. ShoWTimE, he almost ended the game. If you recall, like ShoWTimE, when he pushed for the first time in towards the third base, if he was more committed, if he had some reinforcing pylons and reinforcing gateways, then he could have just ended the game. SHIN, he barely held on, he barely survived at his third. Able to get away with Lurker tech, but as he was taking into Lurker, we saw ShoWTimE tech into Tempest. The game was kind of slowing down and things were kind of evening up until those final moments where we saw SHIN commit everything to trying to break the new base of ShoWTimE and surround the Tempest. And he was able to do so. He was able to surround the Tempest, he was able to kill the Tempest as well, but he was very inefficient with his fight. He lost almost every Corruptor in the process, he lost a lot of his army in the process, and they had nothing at home to defend. And what's scary is that ShoWTimE, he was only fighting with half his army. The other half was across the map, killing bases and crippling SHIN and ensuring he was all in. I do think that he could have kept going and he could have pushed into the natural and then pushed into the main and just killed everything basically, but instead he decided to come back home, got a full surround, and had a more secure win, just cleaning up the main army, cleaning up all those lurkers. GG, well played. With that, ShoWTimE, he will claim the series, and we have our grand finals getting ready for us. It's going to be a best of 5 between ShoWTimE and Clem. Let's go.